It was an early morning trip from Dumaguete to the island of Cebu, and I'm heading to Oslob to see the whale sharks, with the hope of swimming near them, if weather permits when I get there. It was my first time to be around here, and I have imagined the challenge of traveling solo as our bus rolled onto a ferry boat. Once aboard, everybody got off the bus to get some fresh air in the waiting area, while we crossed over the Sea of Bohol for the half-hour transit to Cebu Island. As we got closer to the port of Bato, we boarded our bus back for the last leg of our transport to Oslob. I see the anticipation, but I wasn't sure how many others were aboard for the whale shark adventure. The sun was rising, and we could now see where we're heading. Not wanting to miss my stop in a not-so-familiar area, I reminded the bus conductor where I requested to get off. It was already 6 in the morning when I finally arrived at my destination. From there, it was just follow anyone I thought are here for the same reason I'm here. And the guides were waiting and ready to welcome us. After paying our dues, my group walked a couple of minutes to the whale shark center. I was a bit surprised that this early in the morning, this place was already crowded, and we had to sit down for a few minutes of orientation.
With the whale shark interaction guidelines. This is for your own safety and of course for the protection of the whale sharks as well. So first, you are not allowed to touch the whale shark, so no touching. Second is, no flash photography. Then third, you must observe the 4-meter distance away from the whale shark, so from the mouth down to its tail. And lastly, for those who will swim, you are not allowed to apply sunblock lotion or sunscreen protection. If you're applying it already, kindly rinse it off to the shore area after my orientation. Violations are punishable. It's either by a fine of 2,500 pesos or you'll be put to jail for up to 6 months. We have there some marine biologists and sea wardens monitoring the whole operation right now. You'll be given 30 minutes to interact with the whale shark. Your time will only start to count when you reach the interaction area. Additional reminders, for those who will go for snorkeling, you will be provided with a snorkeling gear. But please take good care of it. If it will be lost or damaged, then you'll be the one to pay for it. And for those who will swim, please remove all your jewelry and any other accessories with you because it might be accidentally fall into the water and we will not be liable for that. May you have your ultimate experience that you will never forget. You can now proceed to the next area to purchase your ticket or you now follow your guide.
Next thing to do is wait, as there were only a number of boats carrying about 5 or so passengers per boat to take us to the interaction area. We watched the boats come and go while others prepared to get ready for their turn as we waited for our group number to get called out.
126!
No, 1 to 7.
Excited.
Don't get excited.
1 to 7.
1 to 7. Yeah.
Here, yay. Present.
Action area, you are very important to wear your life vest. As you drop the boat into the water, just enter slowly.
Finally, we were set to go to interact with the whale sharks. For our protection, we all had to wear a life vest, except for the boat driver. This day looked like a good day for a swim. The water was clear, but there were no other fish to see around. Our excitement continued as our boat glides and our driver paddles closer in the direction of the day's main event. The other boat groups seemed to be racing with us to get there. And then, the adventure begins. It was time to interact with the whale sharks. We got off the boat to hang on to the side floats and get ready for the close encounter of our new friends, the famous sea creatures of Oslob. Most of us soon realized that we were better off not wearing our life vest, because they kept us afloat when we wanted to see the whale sharks underwater. On this day, we were told there were 9 whale sharks, keeping the visitors happy to meet with them, while they were thrown small fish as incentives to keep them around. The whale sharks appeared to have been trained to follow the smaller boat for their food, while keeping a distance of a few meters away from us. Meanwhile, our boat guide kept an eye on the whale sharks as it passed back and forth near us, to tell us when to dock for underwater view, and so he could take our interaction souvenir pictures. It seems easy to do, but holding our breath underwater for a few seconds, while pushing hard on the float to stay down, and then turning around to see where the shark was, it was very tiring, so that we kept bumping into each other before pulling ourselves back up to catch our breath.
Stay on,
Huwag kang bibitaw mo to.
Sama mo yung ilong, sir. Sama mo yung ilong. Bibig, kahinga, bibig.
Okay. Prepare. Ready?
Okay, baba lang ng baba kayo.
Baba ng baba. 1, 2, 3.
And so this went on for the rest of our interaction time. It was actually fun, but exhausting. The experience to actually be there physically once in a lifetime. The opportunity to enjoy the moment with others.
Finish na.
And a chance to meet my fellow thrill-seeking travelers like Ismail and Sid. It made my whole day well worth spending, with some fun memories to bring back home.
Stop, sir.
In the end, it was a day of mission accomplished. By 9:30 in the morning, and after a quick shower and cleanup at the resort, I was on my way back with Ismail and Sid to Dumaguete. This time, I agreed to share a ride and we hired a tricycle transport to take us to the nearest port, an alternate route, and a faster way to get to the Negros Island. It was at the Liloan port that we boarded the passenger boat, the Santander Express.